Hello all. The topic today I have selected is data page. I'm gonna explain how we can create data page and what is the use of it. So data page is nothing but whenever we want to get the information from different sources, like it might be from DB or it might be using some REST. So from some other using sources, you bring the data and you cache it in the Pega. So the place we call it as clipboard. So we store the data in the cache and we will use from there. So whenever I try to log in, whenever I need data from some source, instead of going and getting from that source, that source, it will try to check in my clipboard if the data is already available in my clipboard, and it will take from there. If it is not there, then it will try to load the data. So this is what the usage of the the data page. So I'll just create and show you now. We know like we have two types of structure in the data page. So first I'll create get contact details. I'll just make this as fsg hyphen data hyphen contact. Create and open. So I'm gonna first explain about the structure as page. So we know like when we want to get only one information about something, then we'll go with the page. If we want a list, then list of information, then we'll go with the list. So this is the difference. So first I'm going with the page, and the subject type is nothing but from which class you are going to get the data. So that class we have to mention in the subject type. And the mode we have read only, editable, and savable. Read only is nothing but when you don't want to update the uh, data page information. Like some cases what we will do, we will get the information from different sources and we'll just use it in our case level. So during that time we have to make it as a read only, so that we will not be updating the information present in that source. So those cases you have to go with the read only mode. Editable is nothing but, so you have taken the information from source, but while processing the case you might need to update few information in the clipboard, the case level. So during that time we can make them as a editable. For example, I have two address. When I'm placing order, I have two address. So during the order, when I'm trying to place order, I can make any address as a primary to deliver it. So that is just a update I'm doing in the clipboard, in the case level, not in the source level. So that time we can go with the editable because I'm making the data pages editable, so they can save it in the clipboard level. And the next one is savable. Savable is nothing but I'm making some changes in the case level and I want to update that into the source through this data page. Then we will go with the savable mode. So now I'm gonna show read only mode, the selected, and scope. So whenever I want to get the data from D page based on each thread. For example, if I go here, if I open the first case I've created is event-3001, and I'm gonna create next case that is going to be event 3002. For each case creation, we will consider it as each thread. So for each thread, if I want to reload my data page, because the information present in this is going to change for each case creation, then we will go with thread level. Requestor level is like whenever a user is logging in, requestor is nothing but the user. So if I'm trying to log in, so when I log in at first time, that time this data will get loaded using the data page. Then if the data is new, and it will take from the clipboard. So how it happens is like, so even though I load using requester level, so first what it will do, it will try to check the clipboard first, whether the data is there in the clipboard. So when I'm first logging in, the data won't be there, right? So it will try to load the data. And if I'm trying to create a new case, so it will go and check in the clipboard whether the data is there. If it is there, and the next check happen is like whether it is stale, the information is uh, it's not old. If it is old data, then it will try to reload it. So this is how it works. And node level is nothing but, so whenever a user logins at first time in the node level, then the data will get loaded. Then under that node, the same information will be available for all the users. So based on our requirement, whether we want to load our data in the thread level or requester level. Thread level, I'll tell you an example. So if I'm creating case, we may have this a currency conversion, right? In the currency conversion, so the currency conversion, I can't rely on the old data. For example, the currency conversion data will be updated by business. Okay, so it might change every second. Example I'm telling, if it is changing every second, then I can't rely on the old data, right? So whenever I'm gonna create new cases, I want to have the updated one, not the old one. So those cases we can go for thread level, because whenever I create new case, I want to have the updated data, not the old data. Node level is something like based on some configuration, if I want to fetch some data. Okay, so in the UI level, I'm gonna show um, some model like if I'm searching for some phone, so I want in this configuration. So this configuration will never change, right? It is going to be static always. So those cases we can go for node level. Um, and then the scroll down, the sources. Data sources is the place where we'll be talking about um, whether I'm gonna fetch data using connector, data transform, report definition, lookup, activity, robotic automation, aggregate sources. So sources also, it's purely based on the business. If I need to get the data using the connector, then I'll go with this. If not, I'll choose some other option. For example, I need to fetch the data using report definition, okay, or lookup. Okay, connector I have told you, like it's like when I have information present in the external system, I'll just use connector to fetch the data. So like in the connector type we have all these methods, the types. So based on if it is a rest type or whether it is soap type, based on that we will choose, and we will try to call the method here. So I'll just call the soap method. So the soap method will fetch the result, and I'll pass the request parameter for this add method. We have to pass it from here, and the response we have to again set it back to our whatever page we want to set it back, we have to set. So this is how it works. And similarly for data transform, if I'm going with, so I want to set some data using the data transform. What I will do, I'll just create a data transform. So I'll source the data from here. So from this data, from this data transform, data will be taken and it will send it, and it will be stored into the clipboard structure. The clipboard as a cache it will stored. And the report definition. Similarly, if I want to fetch some information from report definition, so we will go with this. And lookup is something like list. So it will be like you'll be directly providing the class name here. So from this class name, it will fetch the data directly. For example, I'll show you. So we are into FSG data, right? FSG data contact. Okay. So this is my class name now. I'll just go and save this. Okay, so the access group is mandatory, so I'm gonna make it as FSG authors. Authors is admin access group. For now, I'm providing a admin access group here. What else? Authors does not include role set. Okay, I'm in FSG authors. I have to make it as booking authors because I'm in booking application right now, right? So I have to mark it as a booking author. Fine. And the next GUID is required to. Okay, so we have to pass some data parameters here to fetch the data. Okay, so I'll just go to data types, contact. So this is the table we are trying to fetch now, records. I'll take some GUID for testing purpose. I'll provide here. That's it. Just do save. Now I'll run and show you. Just run this. Clipboard structure I'll show you. Just run this. So we see the data in the page format. We see the first name, last name. So all the informations are here. So in the clipboard, you can go here. The read-only data page will be under data pages. Just go here. So we made it as a thread level, right? Is it under thread level? What is the type of data page? Oh, I marked it as a node level. Okay. So the level we have to open, whatever level we have provided. You see, the D page name will always, the data page name will always starts with D. So here we can go and see. I have expanded everything. So we always go and see, just click on here. You see the informations present under this D page. So whatever information we have requested. So this is how we create our D page. So now the creation is done. So the next video I will explain the other details, like using other sources, how we can load and how we can call more than one sources from here. So those things I will explain in another video.